All right, all right. Hello, everyone, and I am back. Well, I am back after a little bit of vacation coming at you. Let's go ahead and break things down in this game. Human versus Night Elf. Sock versus, I think I'm going to pronounce his name Lwyfr until someone corrects me and lets me know how I should actually be pronouncing a name with only one vowel. And, well, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and just dive into this human versus night elf matchup. Sock spawning as the purple night elf or purple human on the bottom left hand side of the map. Meanwhile, night elf over here in the teal trunks on the top right. We are going to be looking at Altar of Elders, Alt Ancient of War. Pretty standard builds coming in from both sides here. No one, well, building anything too crazy or out of the ordinary. I'm going into 2 times speed, and as this game gets underway, well, we'll see that it is going to be an Archmage going up against a Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter very good with that immolation now to help with that creeping as game is now underway here. Archmage making his way down, going to go ahead and clear out this Null Warden creep camp. Going to get a purge off onto a militia before dropping a water elemental that's going to be absorbing all of and tanking all of that damage. Meanwhile, back off to the north here, Ancient of War taking quite a bit of damage. The Demon Hunter's trying to really maximize his damage here by hitting multiple targets, but only able to get to 2 at the same time. Now trying to perhaps go after this Tuskar Trapper and these remaining units as well. It looks as though that Ancient of War is absorbing quite a bit, but he is regenerating quite a bit as well. Down to 38 hit points. He could get very close to dead. Down to 30, down to 1 hit point. Wow. That Ancient of War surviving ever so barely, going to regenerate some hit points, and now, well, perhaps root up and start training up some more units as we do see a Tree of Life now being placed down as well. That Ancient of War still regenerating some hit points slowly but surely. Meanwhile, Archmage down on the south side as well, clearing out some easy creep camps, and perhaps is going to be looking to set up an expansion too. Water Elemental quickly being dropped down here. Demon Hunter does have immolation, if you remember, so trying to surround a Demon Hunter in this day with the meta, always a dangerous proposition as the chances of immolation are significantly higher. Alright, there you go. There's that immolation being used. Multiple footmen taking a little bit of damage over time as we're looking at the units now looking to back away again. Yeah. Thank you, pop-ups. Anyways, coming back around, Demon Hunter going to get shooed away here as we see a couple of archers going to be pushing away that footman. Both sides looking to be setting up expansions here on Northern Isle, and I am expecting, well, an economic game now, obviously, as the Demon Hunter comes back in, perhaps going to try to get in some immolation damage across all of these peasants. All right, there's that immolation damage. Peasants now trying to head back into every which corner. The peasants perfectly split apart by Sock. Very nicely done, minimizing that effective damage here as the Demon Hunter's mana is now completely drained out. Militia now being called back over as we're looking at the Town Hall suffering quite a bit of damage here. All right, low hit point footman now trying to, well, retreat all the way to the back. There's a detonation. Footmen do not have defend as damage is racking up here. One footman about to get taken down. Archers trying to, well, lob those arrows. One footman now down. A second footman going to get taken down as well. We do see, I believe, dual Ancients of War. No, that archer was just back at home trying to offer a bit of protection as the Tree of Life once more is going to survive down to 31 hit points. It actually gets taken down. The Archmage's Claws of Attack +4 and doing enough damage to finish off that Ancient of War. A little bit of a lucky break right there. 24 or 28 to 34 damage, getting the right number to be able to finish it off. Couldn't get lucky twice in a row, as you remember that Ancient of War was down to 1 hit point before it was, well, before it was saved. Coming back around, Demon Hunter does have Boots of Speed, and now there's a little bit of fighting going on across here. Footmen still do not have defend, as the Demon Hunter taking quite a bit of damage here. Low hit point footman trying to hide in the back, another footman trying to retreat, as the archers are all in position. No arcane vault as of yet, as the Demon Hunter should be able to easily chase down this one footman as another footman gets into harm's way. Alright, Demon Hunter still trying to chase after this here. It looks as though this footman is going to get taken down. There goes one more footman. Demon Hunter now just shy of level 3, as the action is fast and furious here as the, well, units trying to protect their family. Coming back around on the south side here, it doesn't look like any archers were lost. Don't see any other additional corpses as the Demon Hunter now coming back around, perhaps to try and rack up some damage on that low hit point footman there. Is he going to be able to dive into that position? No, it does not look like it, as the Demon Hunter now down to 70 or down to 116 hit points after that level up there, as the archer was able to get that final shot off on that footman. Demon Hunter with 10 armor really is a tank early in the game. 38% damage reduction coupled with, well, natural night elf regeneration at night and also hero regeneration, as the Demon Hunter now retreats back to the top right. Coming back around, we're looking at this Tree of Life needing to make up some lost ground. Night Elf significantly behind in the economy race. It looks like there's going to be about a 2-minute mining difference, if not more, as it will take some time before this gold mine is done mining here. All right, coming back around, well, Ancient of War going to be fighting its way through. Doesn't have any fortified armor, taking full damage from that Archmage. As that Ancient of War falls, Night Elf is going to be in some serious trouble, but he is already transitioning into dual Ancients of Lore. Ancient of War was taken down, and all Saw can really do now is perhaps try and delay and further that economic advantage by, well, placing this water elemental here and delaying this entangled gold mine. All right, a little bit more damage will be needed. Meanwhile, down to the south here, Goblin Tinker. So Night Elf already at tier 2, and now with a Goblin Tinker ready to crank out some units. The Clockwork Goblins, however, are actually spawning in the wrong spot, unable to slip through this here to try and get some damage onto those peasants. Archers trying to pelt it down here. Demon Hunter with, well, Immolation, racking up quite a bit of damage. Footman with Defend, as we're looking at another, well, Water Elemental getting taken down. Demon Hunter trying to go after some more of these units. We're looking at level 2 Immolation, actually, as the Demon Hunter trying to close in on that distance. One more shot, 2 more shots, trying to finish off more units. Another low hit point Footman could get taken down. Is he going to get taken down? No, he is not. Another low hit point Footman saved at 7 hit points. Demon Hunter now trying to come back around the other way. Is he going to be able to finish them off? No, trying to dive on in, and then ends up getting in trouble again, as the peasants are now in position to create a little bit of a wall in the scenario. All right, Demon Hunter now pretty much out of mana, as the militia are fighting back here. There is a bit of evasion going on as the units are fighting back. One rifleman trying to, well, force a little bit of damage here as this Demon Hunter is stuck. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker is causing some problems here as the Clockwork Goblins are pushing pressure on across. Massive repairs are underway onto this scout tower. Not quite sure why you would be repairing this scout tower here, as it's not really offering any protection, as the Archmage now tries to retreat back. All right, Archmage trying to run all the way back. Demon Hunter, I believe, teleported, but not quite sure where. Perhaps back in the base here. No, back in the base and now trying to make its way back down. All right, some crazy exchanges back and forth. This scout tower now down to 3 hit points, as we are looking at a Pit Lord as the second hero. All right, so Archmage, well, Pit Lord as the second hero here, not quite sure what to make of it. There isn't a lot of claws of attack, so getting a Pit Lord second as a human player is a little bit of a weird proposition. All right, Scroll of Town Portal, Archmage going to go ahead and teleport back down to the south, going to go ahead and try and engage. We're looking at one dead footman already. Demon Hunter now trying to go after some more units. Pit Lord, what's going to end up happening as we're looking at more damage getting racked up here. All right, there's some Abolish Magic. Water Elemental easily going to get taken down there. There's level 2 now on the Goblin Tinker, as the Pit Lord's trying to retreat its way back. Demon Hunter still surviving ever so barely, down to 75 hit points, as the Archmage is trying to go up against these Dryads, but the slow poison causing some problems as well. Pit Lord does have Cleave. He's trying to rack up more and more damage, as we're looking at more low hit point units constantly getting felled here. All right, Abolish Magic finishes off a Water Elemental. Demon Hunter going to finish off another Footman right there with Immolation, just dancing back and forth. 37 supply compared to 37. Both sides have lost quite a bit of units, as the Pit Lord uses a potion of healing to try and stay alive, as the Demon Hunter able to escape at 18 hit points. All right, both sides fighting their way through. Dryads now trying to retreat back again, as both sides have been pummeling each other throughout this game, and we are finally getting a little bit of, well, respite and calm on both sides. All right. a wall of farms being established by Sok to try and protect that location there. Meanwhile, Sok is clearing out some easy, quick creep camps as quickly as he can. Same thing happening here by the Night Elf player as well, as the Goblin Tinker picks up, well, Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3. Where is that +2 damage coming from? Alright, so not quite sure where that +2 damage is coming from. Maybe the Goblin Tinker gains attack also from Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3. So primary attribute is intelligence, but also gets attack bonus from that Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, but only 2? That just seems a bit odd there. Anyway, Teskar Trapper now going to get finished off here. We see Druids of the Claw Rejuvenation being used to keep that Demon Hunter and that Goblin Tinker back up to full now, as both sides are now looking to just beat up on the computer for a little bit and perhaps gain a bit of experience. Meanwhile, Pitlord does have Howl of Terror alongside Cleave, but that Howl of Terror is not going to be able to do very much against those the army of Dryads that he's facing. Druids of the Claw, though, however, can tank a little bit of that frontline damage. Goblin Tinker still absorbing damage here. We're looking at this Druid of the Claw needs another rejuvenation. He's currently low on hit points, as the Druids of the Claw now finishing off the remainder of this Ice Troll Warlord creep camp as that Goblin Tinker hits level 3. Demon Hunter, goes ahead and dives on into the battle here, trying to go after some of these peasants again. How much damage can he really rack up? Demon Hunter now gets up to level 4. Level 2 evasion most likely in the works here, as peasant after peasant is slowly falling. Demon Hunter, is he going to be able to teleport out of this sticky situation? Yes, he is. Down to 104 hit points, and now able to make it all the way back home. He needs a rejuvenation from those Druids of the Claw. Well, there it goes. There's that there's that rejuvenation now, as the Druids of the Claw need to get that mastery training and for that faster mana regeneration as well. Druids of the Claw having enough mana right now, but staying in Druid form to try and maximize their mana for a little while longer, keeping, well, I think these two are just waiting to get to 25 mana before going into that bear mode. Level 4, level 3 now on Sok compared to level 4, level 3 for the Night Elf. Both sides with similar level heroes, but the Demon Hunter quickly diving on in here. Druids of the Claw trying to claw in after all of these units, trying to swipe down these Spellbreakers, as we see a Book of the Dead quickly being used by the Night Elf here to perhaps maximize some fleeing damage. Alright, low hit point Priest getting pelted by those summoned skeletal archers. Meanwhile, Druids of the Claw are still diving after some, riflemen. There's a giant Howl of Terror as well, greatly affecting the damage on all of those summon units and those Druids of the Claw. Both sides fighting their way through. No Roar, however, so without Roar, these Druids of the Claw are not really dealing much damage at all. More damage still slicing their way through. Another Druid of the Claw trying to retreat back. No Staff of Preservation usage there, as the Goblin Tinker, well, perhaps it just didn't pull the trigger in time. Units still trying to retreat back. We're seeing more damage getting racked up. Spellbreakers perhaps trying to retreat back here. Are we going to see a Staff of Preservation? Yes, we are, and that 1 minute cooldown means that, well, a couple of units could end up getting taken down. Alright, we're looking at more damage getting racked up. There goes another Dryad, and no abolish magic for that Water Elemental, as the Demon Hunter tries to go after a low hit point Priest. Does find the target here. Is he going to be able to Staff of Teleportation out or retreat back in time? He will be able to, as the Demon Hunter runs within Scroll of Town portal range of that Goblin Tinker. Crazy battles going back and forth. 63 supply compared to 52. Sok in a little bit of a weird spot, opting to stay out of low upkeep to build up a little bit more of a bank. Spellbreakers are getting trained up here. We don't see only level 1 weapons and armors upgrade. The Riflemen getting the upgrade, not the Spellbreakers, as the Spellbreakers are getting that armor upgrade here. Now, these Druids of the Claw need to go into Druid form, and then also need to, well, get that rejuvenation going. Multiple Druids of the Claw low on hit points. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker retraining into rockets, so we'll be able to get a fair amount of stuns off. That is going to be, well, game-changing, I believe, as we are now looking at more and more skeletal minions getting summoned up by that web spinner. Low hit point spellbreakers trying to retreat to the back. Only one priest in Sock's army. We need to see 2 or even 3 more priests in order to keep this army alive and well. There's another priest, a sorceress, and a rifleman. Sounds like the beginning of a WarCraft 3 joke. Archmage now coming back to clear this bottom right red creep camp here. Pitlord will get to level 4, and Pitlord with plus 16 auto attack, claws of attack plus 8, plus 2 claws of attack plus 4, plus rings of protection, and Howl of Terror is making that Pitlord a frontline absolute beast. Only downside is Paladin will not be able to heal the Pitlord if he even tries to go for tier 3. Tome of Intelligence plus 2, that's going to be given to the Archmage, most likely a little bit more auto attack, a little bit more mana as well. Dual level 4 heroes going up against dual level 4 heroes. Demon Hunter, however, getting awfully close to level 5 and will in fact, well, come on, get there. All right, Demon Hunter gets their Tome of Intelligence on the Demon Hunter for some odd reason instead of the Goblin Tinker, as that Goblin Tinker will be using those rockets to perhaps try and stun that back line and then perhaps allow the Demon Hunter to use that immolation very effectively. Dual Talisman of Evasion on that Pitlord, not helpful at all. One of those will definitely be sold. Archmage trying to get away right now, has double Scrolls of Healing. Is he going to be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, he is. The stun a split second too early as the Scroll of Town Portal takes all of those units back home. All right, Archmage forced to use that Scroll of Town Portal to, well, retreat back. Meanwhile, Archmage does have dual Scrolls of Healing. Pitlord does sell one of those Talisman of Evasion. Archmage should give a Scroll of Healing to that Pitlord as to, well, split the cooldown on that Scroll of Healing as we're going to be going into an engagement now. All right, Water Elemental Pocket or those rockets now, well, thrown it down across the sorceresses there. That backline, there's a big roar. There's a rejuvenation. Demon Hunter does not have rejuvenation. Howl of Terror, greatly reduced damage, but does have immolation as both sides fighting their way through. Scroll of Healing now used by the Night Elf as the, well, Druid of the Claw trying to retreat all the way back. Both sides still fighting their way through. There's another round of stun going down as the Archmage does get up to level 5 for level 3 Brilliance Aura over level 3 Water Elementals. Both sides still engaging here as Druids of the Claw are now looking to retreat back. Goblin Tinker says, you know what, I need to minimize my losses, and able to do exactly that. I believe losing maybe a bear and a dryad here, but then again, Sock also in danger of losing a lot, but able to force that Scroll of Town Portal back first. Pitlord now sits at level 5, so a slight hero level advantage for Sock here, who does have level 3 cleave. That plus 27, or sorry, I guess he had Roar stolen from the Druids of the Claw. He had plus 27 damage at one point. That is an astronomical amount of bonus damage there, with a fast attack speed as well. That additional plus 5 agility, speeding things up just a bit more. As we look off to the north, Night Elf looking to take up a third base here. Main gold mines have about 4 minutes of mining left, 4 to 5 minutes of mining left here. If you remember, Sock did end up stopping his mining a few times as the Demon Hunter did come in for harassment. Level 2 armor upgrades for those spellbreakers, in addition to level 1 weapon upgrades. Meanwhile, the Druids of the Claw and the Dryads are all sharing those 1-2 upgrades. Speaking of Dryads, though, there is only one Dryad that I see out here on the battlefield. We are now looking mainly at Druids of the Claw, which means that the Sorceress's slow may become that much more effective. We'll have to take a look at how all of this works out, as we are looking at a Fairy Dragon to perhaps try and get some Mana Flare across these units in the backfield. All right, Howl of Terror, and more damage getting racked up here. Mana Flare going across multiple sides. Fairy Dragon is still looking pretty strong right now, not getting focused down. Demon Hunter could be in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't have any potion of invulnerability, but but does have Moonwells to try and provide a bit of support. Level 2 evasion. There goes a couple of stuns, slowing that retreat back as we're looking at both sides fighting their way through. That Pit Lord dealing massive damage per swipe, but really needs to attack a large cluster of units and able to rack up damage against these Druids of the Claw here. Are we going to see, oh, he did a Howl of Terror, allowing a couple of those Druids of the Claw to retreat back here. This could become bad news as we're looking at these Druids of the Claw. There's a couple of stuns. He just needs to turn around, perhaps attack the other way. There goes one Druid of the Claw, two Druids of the Claw, three Druids of the Claw. 12 supplies suddenly lost in addition to an Ancient of Wind. All right, that is going to be a big loss right there. Demon Hunter down to 89 hit points, but able to survive. And, well, if it wasn't for that final 3 or 4 Druid of the Claw kills, I would say that things were looking fairly even now. We're looking at Sock with a what seems to be an unsurmountable advantage. He is sitting at the upper echelons of low upkeep, building a bank of gold while setting up a town hall here on the bottom right as well. Economic advantage, hero level advantage, army size advantage. Well, economic advantage is not fully there yet. More wisps do need to be trained, but it may be insurmountable. All right, there goes a big stun there. Demon Hunter now looking to perhaps finish off a bit more. Are we going to see some more peasants getting taken down? There's some more stuns trying to take down more of these peasants. There's level 5 now on the Goblin Tinker, and inbound Staff of Teleportation, mass teleport, as the Demon Hunter now is going to be in a bit of trouble. Staff of Preservation does come in for the save, as the Archmage is now perhaps kind of stuck in this backward spot, unable to get out and defend easily. All right, only a minute of mining left here. Druids of the Claw are actually putting pressure inside the main base, so there's a lot of mining happening all over the place as this Arcane Tower is going to end up getting taken down. Meanwhile, this Tree of Life is slowly getting pressured by a Water Elemental and Rifleman, as this base was taken down as well. One mining base operational, this base about to get operational again. Meanwhile, the main base with mass teleport, that Archmage really moving around the map quickly, able to get the defense off. All right, is the Demon Hunter going to be able to do enough here? Perhaps trying to, win out any which way he can. Goblin Tinker and Demon Hunter both sitting at level 5, but trying to overcome the Archmage's, mass mobility with that mass teleport. So difficult to do, as they now head to the top left to shut down this Tree of Life. All right. Archmage with that mass teleport pretty much being everywhere on the map all at once, able to shut things down very quickly. We see no more mining bases for the Night Elf as this Tree of Eternity slowly walks its way over perhaps to that 12 o'clock expo location. Demon Hunter, however, not giving up, trying to go after any peasant that he can. Takes down multiple peasants as the Demon Hunter now trying to Staff of Teleportation away down to 265 hit points and does teleport back home safely. Meanwhile, Goblin Tinker and Druids of the Claw was trying to finish off this keep here. That was a Scroll of Town Portal, I believe. Staff of Preservation and Staff of Teleportation. No, Scroll of Town Portal there to try and retreat back to. All right. Bunch of heals going around, rejuvenations, 61 supply going up against 78. Army sizes 65 compared to 44, as the economy of Sock is still pretty much starting to run away. Night Elf down to 4. Has plenty of workers, down to 4 gold, needs to figure out a way to clean this game up. Meanwhile, this Pit Lord with that frontline damage, there's a quick detonation on the bears. Not quite sure what that was about. Oh, to remove all of the slow from those sorceresses. Ancient of Wonders gets easily taken down. Sock now just going after the buildings here, should be able to easily clean this up, as Night Elf is now starting to run out of options to try and defend. More Mountain Giants getting trained up, 67 supply compared to 80. Army size 51 compared to 65, as both sides fighting their way through. There's a round of stun here. Archmage continuing to fight back around here. Demon Hunter going to continue to fight here. There's some, Tree of Eternity. These units in the back are not actually engaging. Wisp now trying to make their way to the back position here. Demon Hunter trying to go after all of these units. Are we going to see a Staff of Preservation? It would just teleport next to here as we see another round of stun. Goblin Tinker not being able to stun all that much. Both sides still fighting their way through. There's another round of stun again. And I just realized what that bonus damage was. It is the passive ability of that Goblin Tinker. More stunning going down here. That quick cooldown causing problems as the Doom Guard is now out here on the battlefield. Doom Guard comes across, going to finish the Goblin Tinker as the Goblin Tinker gets taken out, and the Demon Hunter down to 4 hit points. Wow. Level 6 on both the Archmage and that Pit Lord. A crazy game going back and forth, but ultimately the utility of that mass teleport was the final nail in the coffin to give Sock the win. A lot of things went right for Sock as well leading up to that point, but it felt like what finally closed the door was that high mobility. Great job by Night Elf constantly harassing the main base, the natural expansion, and a little bit of this third expansion as well, but it still was not enough. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below as we see the final score screen.